The reason why we do design is because we want to express the world to be our way. It is important that the project comes as we want it to be expressed, and ultimately it's the expression of myself. I think the designer is a collector of influences. We like to take things from outside process and give our output. I think that the design fact is like a tale to be told, and ultimately the vision of the storyteller is what counts. In our way, it's about creating a legacy, being remembered for what you have done for your culture, for the human civilization. Integrating public places for self-expression is crucial, even though I think they shouldn't be too much planned, because otherwise we weaken the basic component of self-expression, that is freedom. We shouldn't be told where and when to do it. We just need to have spaces suitable for that. It was formed in Florence many years ago. This year we celebrated our 20th. So we decided to move to Dubai as we wanted to seek for international context and a bit more of challenges and chances to get what we want in our design practice.
It's very interesting because we arrived in 2008, so it's been almost 10 years that we are here, and in this 10 years we saw a lot of changes, especially in the taste of the people here. So the market has changed. When we arrived here, for the commercial there was a lot of space for modern design, but in the interior, in the private residence, still the taste was not so open to the contemporary. Instead now we are seeing that this is happening a lot. So we are very happy about this, that the trend is changing towards what we like, so we are lucky about it.
This is difficult. Actually, as you say, luxury can be exclusive or can be just something that very difficult to achieve, but not necessarily for a few people. So it's very difficult to answer. And sometimes we say that for some reason luxury is when you can afford to waste space, or you can afford to have silence, or you have a view. This is, luxury things are something that
intangible.
Exactly.
Yeah, not related more to special material that cost a fortune. I think nowadays is no more this the meaning of the luxury. We are doing our project in Riyadh in which the client is seek for minimalism. So for him the luxury is not showing off too much compared to the others, So this is interesting.
Yeah, very recently we are trying to another way of being luxury is of course being sustainable, and we try to work in the place with the material we found, and of course in the GCC natural rocks or sand itself, it's the method that you have available. So we're trying to make a couple of projects with the Ramed Earth that for us is not that new as a technique, but we never used this. We just saw it in magazines or with some other projects. And now we are doing 2 projects with this new technology, and we like it a lot, either in terms of outcomes formally, and also for what it means in terms of sustainability. Because you work with the sand that you find in the place, and you make a building of it. I think it's happening. Of course, there is a time span from words to real actions, but I think that the fact that this region started already 5-10 years ago, seriously talking about sustainability, I think it's a good move.
For us, 3D is fundamental. So our 3D specialists are still architects, so are not just 3D. So we are working close with them to come up with the project. And now we are experimenting the VR technique, so with the glasses, so we can provide our client with a real feeling of what will be their project.
And real-time change of materials.
Yeah.
So he walks into the space, and with a click you change the color of the walls, of the carpet and whatever. Right. And we use this 3D not just to tell the project as it is and a final view, but to conceive the project. So we took the model and we just saw how it worked, and we adjust shapes and volumes and the space. We design in 3D with the help of these tools. It's part of our concept, putting together 2 different components. One is the massive components that we can define like the earth. It's something very solid, massive, something that represents your heritage and your solid basis. And on top of it, we like to work with something that it's ephemeral, it's something replaceable, because most of the time it's technology. And today works this way, tomorrow is going to be gone and replaced by something else, and the 2 elements still will work together. Basically, we like to think that the solid component will stay, and the ephemeral one will be replaced from time to time.
Clients usually are not technical, so when you present them plan and section, they don't understand what we are talking about. Instead, if you can enter in your project, you really have the feeling of what will be. So you also, for us, is that more time consuming at the beginning, but then we avoid the misunderstanding and the mistake or something that they will not like when they will see the final one.
Oh, yeah, you don't really avoid it, but at least it's more pleasant, to work on changes. It's all about a change of mind. If I have to be honest, the real challenge is to find the right audience. It's difficult to get in touch with people that share with us the same vision and the same way of working. So many misunderstandings, many arguments in the end, because I think, as we always say, a project is like the product of a mother and father. So if the mother is the architect, the father is the client, they must work together, and they must share the same vision. So in many cases we are asked to approach a job just because they know that we are related to some luxury brands, or because I don't know why, but there's not a real interest in the way we see. And in the end, this doesn't have a good outcome. So
but when it does, it's really nice.
When it does,
yeah.
It's
Brilliant.
breathtaking, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, they are and they might be, but in the end, the projects that are working in commercial projects, there is always the problem with budget or time, some constraints that in some ways they are binding, the project and also the relationship we may have with our clients. Actually, we are quite happy. We achieved a few projects, but we don't do everything. So if we are asked to make some stylism or this way, or we tend not to agree. And I must say that in the few occasions that we had a chance to move the direction we wanted, the result has been very good. I mean, either a little store, 60 square meters, or a larger villa, or we have done something that we are happy with, yes.